Hello, I'm Jacob Dahlmatch.
I'm Jacob Burkett.
I'm Bryce Nicholson.
And I'm Caleb Sluderbeck.
So our team name is Team Bitbenders. Our project was an event planner for our client, who was our professor Nasifa Bukameo. The purpose of our project is that it's an app on your phone that's meant for anywhere around campus. Eventually it could be used not just specifically for Ohio University's purposes, but it's for people who say are trying to make a event, like they want to go and play tennis and they need 4 people but they only have 2. They can create an event saying, hey, we're looking for a total of 4 people, we have 2 so far. You can put a skill level, when and where you're doing it, and anyone who's on the app, you can make the event public for anyone to see and they can join in. So you can create meetups. You can do it with any sport that is really out there, as well as any sort of activity, like if you're wanting to meet up for like a study session for like finals week or anything like that. It can also be used for purposes like the university events, like say they are hosting the, I don't know, what's things like craft night or like the mini putt in the library. The university can use the app to show these events up, and so people know that when and where they're going on at. You can make any event public or private. So if you only want it to be for a select few people, then you can make it private and send it out as an invitation if you don't want anyone who has the app to see it. You can also make private groups where it has this like people and you can post the event to them, so it's specifically only for those people. But the event functionality is you can create the events, you have full event details screens. We have a built-in map screen so you can see where these events are, like around near you for your location. There's in-group messaging, so once you've joined an event, you can message with the people about any further details or things like that you might have, as well as a main messaging, kind of just any sort of iMessage with individual people. App has its basic functionalities like your profile, settings, about screen to learn how to use the app, and notifications, all kind of things that any other app would typically have. But the main purpose of the app is just to be able to get together with different people and have fun. So this is the home screen once you've logged into the app, where you can see the 3 different filters. You can filter through public, your own events you've created, and private events. This account doesn't have any private events created, so that's what it looks like. If you don't, it's just blank. You can also search events through their titles. If you're wanting to look for specific sporting events, they may have what they're actually doing in it. So every single event that's created has this little, I guess, widget or event item. You can see the event title, location, and date and time of where it's happening. Every event when it's created for what sport they were doing, if it was a sport event, has a thumbnail in the back as well as an icon. There's also an icon in the top right which tells you whether it's a public or a private event. If it's private, there's like a little lock instead of a globe. And then in the bottom right, you can see how many current people have joined the event out of the max amount of attendees that they're looking for. And then once you click on an event, you can go in and see the rest of the event details. Again, kind of all the stuff that you could see, like title, location, date, time, and whatnot. You'll also be able to see attendees list if it's a private event. For privacy purposes, if it's a public event, you won't be able to see the people who have joined it, just for security sense. But if it's a private event and you know who you've invited, you'll be able to see who has joined it. There's also an indicator for your skill level. So if they're looking for people either at beginner or intermediate level, you can see that, as well as the full-on event description where they give more details. In this case, it's a charity baseball event. Once you've joined an event, there's also a section where you can group message within that event for anyone who's joined it. There's a kind of just like your typical I guess, messaging screen do this way. And then if you go back to the home screen, then there's where you can create an event. This is where those events are certainly made. Server turned off.
Our server turned off.
Unfortunately, our server turned off. But with the icons and
the icons aren't
thumbnails.
showing up because the server's off.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
yep. But you can go and create the event, make it public or private. There's the icons.
There we go.
And then you can also go to a photo gallery where you can select your different thumbnails and for what sort of event you're actually doing.
And then here's all the
Yep. There's all the fields to input everything into it, and then back on the home screen again.
when you create the event. It'll
Yep.
pop up.
Yep. Once an event's created, it'll actually show up into the feed. The other part about events is the map screen, which is in the bottom left, where you'll be able to see any events around in your location, and you'll be able to click on them and get a little widget. Again, kind of like the home screen, where you get the basic details of what the event is, and then you can go to the detail screen to get all of it. And only other features really about the app is just your profile, about editing that, just basic stuff like that. And then we just have a sidebar for any of the other things of the app, like going back to home, creating groups, basic settings about the app, and then just logging back out to the home screen.